that landed in the product field. Then in the last like 6-7 years working with the digital products, like a little bit physicals too. And then at the moment I'm in a design agency, like mostly doing user research, but also like helping out with like designs themselves and also mostly with UX part. And also at the moment I'm just started to study token engineering academy. Then I think maybe this one is like a little bit of a link, because I'm like generously like interested in like how tokenomic works and like how the systems are designed themselves, and kind of trying to understand more about it. And about the gravity, I had a chance to participate in one of the training sessions, sadly only one. I wanted to do more, but just somehow the timing just didn't work out. But no, I just feel that this is something which is very needed. Like in general, this kind of like a mental health aspects for people who working in like decentralized organization, or not specifically, but in general in the workspace. And I'm just interested in like kind of like raising awareness about it and finding a ways how I could maybe apply certain things in the organization where I work, and also how I can contribute in a meaningful way. And and just I kind of help out with this. Then basically, and also like one thing that's also maybe a little bit related, it's also with my interest. Then beside the work things, I also work as a like basically we have a harm reduction organization in Spain and Portugal for mostly for like recreational drugs and psychedelics, and so then like I kind of like very exposed to people who have vulnerable, who are in the vulnerable situations, or who need some sort of like conversation, sometimes like manage the like not try to use like not violent communication, and also kind of conflict resolutions. And so then it's kind of this other aspect, but also I see a little bit of a link, that because we're basically working with people, trying to like improve their experience in some one way or another. Then basically that's kind of a little bit about me. If you have any questions or anything, just please shoot it here or later somehow. And then basically that's it about me.
Thank you. I think it was a great introduction. We are happy to have you here. I took some notes, and I am going to like go also say some things. Well, I am from Colombia. I have been stewarding this initiative that first was born as a working group of the TEC with the intention of having an implementation of Ostrom's principles. Ostrom's principles are principles to design sustainable systems, and she talks a lot about how conflict management helps the sustainability of common pool resources. And we started doing this in the TC, and then we identified that this was a need in the space, and we are trying to grow. We are doing a lot of things. That you are in Barcelona. In Barcelona, there's a Giveth house. The Giveth community is a really cool community that is a very broader community from the TC, and all Web3 projects and hackers can land there, and it's like a cool meeting space to meet other people, even to work.
Oh, that's something nice. And I never heard about it, because actually I'm not from Barcelona. I moved here like 2 years ago. I'm from Lithuania originally, but I'm just like kind of trying to find my place around here for the like Web3 community. Then thank you very much. Like I will check it out.
I will send you the location, and if you have a Telegram, I will send you the name of the host of that house. That I am sure that he will be really happy to have you there, and there's a lot of there's always like a lot of interesting people meeting there, and it would be really cool. It's in the Sands neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay. And great that you have this mix of digital products and also this human side. We work a lot of all on that of harm reduction, mental health, mediation, nonviolent communication, liberating structures, deep democracy, all those frameworks that help us to manage the complexity of human relationing and interaction. Yeah, I'm happy to have you here in this call. And I don't know, Bianca, and rather Mercurial, if you want to say something, and then we can start the call.
Yeah, sure, I can go. Yeah, so it's awesome to have you here, Justina. Thanks for introducing you. Thanks for being here and coming to the call. I'm Bianca. I'm from Brazil. I've been in Gravity for a year now. Um, I work in the psychology field in Gravity, around mental health and raising awareness of mental health, work environment, and self-awareness. Also, we have a survey going on around those topics. That's a project that we have. We want to implement psychology in Web3, bring psychologists to Web3, and implement therapy. And how can we avoid conflicts, working in ourselves first. Um, Gravity is about conflict management, so it's a topic that we are also trying to raise. Um, so yeah, it's something that I've been working on in Gravity, and you're welcome to Joy, and we can talk about it during the call too. I have some updates on it as we go, and I can pass it to Rather Mercurio.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Howdy. I'm kind of just here doing some research for other DAOs, so I'm sort of just listening in and gathering information. I'm contributing to Super Benefit DAO, where we're building sort of an operational framework for DAOs and for spinning up working groups. And I'm trying to integrate the conflict management work that you're doing here into that framework. So bringing in things like individual skills, conflict mediation, that kind of thing. And trying to find a way to present that and integrate that into DAO systems in a way that's not obtrusive, doesn't require a lot of time, and is sort of logically structured to fit into DAO documentation, that kind of thing. So really nerdy, boring stuff, but trying to sort of make the state of conflict management in the DAO space sort of digestible and easy to integrate for DAO operators.
Amazing. So great to have you here. For both of you, if you want us to give a talk, to make a workshop, a presentation for your community, we're always interested in having new ears and to carry this flag to other communities. So we are available, DM Bianca or me, and we will be able to schedule something.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we are going to go into some of the topics of this agenda. Yeah, this is the location of the Givet House in Barcelona.
Thank you very
near
much.
Plaza de Sants station. You walk 5 minutes and it's there, and there's always like cool people there. I will send you the number of the host, and you can check.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I will check it out definitely.
Some of the things that we were going to do in this call is that we will be participating in a grant round on DevCon that will be hosted by by the CLR funds, and we are like filling the application to submit the project. So we are like having a last read of this to place it, and hopefully we can gather some funds from this. Gravity first was funded by the TC through a proposal that we made to their DAO, but now we are trying to um, like become more independent from the TC and become a DAO of our own, and to be not only funded by the TC but to gather funds from the Web3 space. So participating in grants like this is something that is interesting for us. The project name, we are building open source tools to develop alternative dispute resolution and trust creation in DAOs. As the force of nature, Gravity DAO tries to place conflict management as a basic principle for interaction in the Web3 space. We are a meeting point for both conflict management enthusiasts and starters that want to develop skills that can be used in everyday life, but focusing on the characteristics and complexity of cryptoeconomic systems. Gravity has gravitons, and as the particles are the agents in charge of implementing the gravitational force in their communities. Hello, Anna. Welcome to this call. I saw that you DM'd me, but as I was here, I couldn't reply. But it's nice to have you here. We are just like going over an application for a grant, and hopefully we can submit in this call. But we are like giving a last read. We are going for the tooling category. There was also a content category, but I think that we are building tools. And the problem space. We have successfully mediated 28 cases within our registry and trained over 50 people in basic skills for managing conflict on multiple communities. The TEC, Common Stack, Giveth, Aragon, DAO, One Hive, Odyssey, DAO, Metagame, Gitcoin, and maybe others. This is the link to our SendHub space where we have the registry of all the tickets made for conflict management cases. And here there's other real life scenarios like a conflict from Proof of Humanity, a conflict that happened in MakerDAO, a conflict that happened in Aragon DAO, and a conflict that happened in ENS. So to show that the problem space it's like present, and it's something that we're seeing a lot that is happening.
Yeah, I just have one little question about it. You just shared these cases, then have you been involved in them somehow, or is just something just to represent that there is problems?
Yes. The ones that we have been involved in are these 28 cases that are in our SendHub, but these are other real life scenarios that happen in other communities, but that we only read like their blog posts.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Okay, in this, I think that there may be a conflict with this Ethereum address, because this Ethereum address is a Gnosis multisig. It's the multisig where we are having our funds, but this grant is not on Ethereum. It's going to be in Arbitrum. So I don't know if the multisig works in Arbitrum. I don't know how if you create.
Well, unfortunately, need to make a.
Sorry.
You'd have to make another multisig for Arbitrum specifically with a different address, unfortunately.
I know how to make a multisig with the same address on other network. Do you want to learn how?
Absolutely, but I don't want to take up your time. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's amazing, because this could have been like a critical point of failure if we added this address, and we cannot receive funds in Arbitrum. So I did this once in the past, and Septi gave me the instructions. So I am going to do this. Septi gave me the instructions. This one.
¿Estás grabando?
Sí.
Sorry, it's in Spanish.
¿Por?
Pregunto para que no tengas que volver a...
Ah, sí, no, estoy grabando.
Vale.
Un segundo. Como has dicho que mire estas tres y que me vaya a Etherscan.
Sí, te vas a Etherscan, pones la dirección con la que has interactuado, y ahí arriba pone Interacted with, está arriba. El Interacted with,
Sí.
ese tú, copias esa dirección y la metes en Etherscan.
Ok. Era contract.
Right.
Miner, ¿no?
Sí. Te vas a gastar la pasta.
Pero se me conectó con la otra.
Tienes que cambiar de MetaMask.
Ya lo he hecho.
Ahora sí.
Vale.
El de abajo de todo.
Create proxy with nonce. Vale. Pero voy aquí.
Sí, tiene ahí botón.
So they are migrating
View your transaction.
a Gnosis safe from Gnosis chain to a mainnet. So we would have to do the same steps, but from
Ya está, ¿no? Esto va el recording.
Sí.
from mainnet
Bueno, no, espérate.
to Arbitrum. But
Porque hay
it's
una
the same
parte
steps.
para... Ahora te vas con esa nueva dirección.
¿Con esta?
Esta nueva dirección te aparece en los logs.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Hay una dirección ahí abajo, el más abajo del todo. Es que
El
pone
singleton. El proxy,
No, es
sí.
el proxy. Esa es la dirección de la... Bueno, en realidad ya la teníamos.
Que es la misma que arriba.
Ah, vale, es la misma. Pues esta lo metes en el, no sé, Save App.
A copiar. No sé si.
Claro, ahí aquí cambias a Ethereum.
Solo había una confirmación, habrá que esperar unas 32.
Igual, pero que por eso. Esta es
Ahora sí.
la dirección
Ahora sí.
del de David. Vale.
Estaba esperando un poquillo.
Vale.
So
Ahí le pones los nombres si quieres, si no quieres no.
sorry if it was in Spanish, but I hope you got at least as an idea of what we're doing. We are going to have to move this multisig, that it's the same one that appeared in that video, and create it in Arbitrum. I don't know.
Juan, can you share that video?
Sure. So
There's
here,
awesome.
let's see. Something went wrong. a really cool video, how to make a multisig from multi-chain. So I am not gonna do this right now because I don't want to make any mistakes. And always when we're having like live demos, you can make a mistake. But I will be doing this during the course of the day. But to know that yeah, this wallet is the same wallet of the multisig that we manage our funds in Gnosis chain and in mainnet. On what we will use this funding, we will continue developing open source tools and trainings to build trust and manage conflict in DAOs, like creating guides, offering the fourth cohort of the Graviton training, hosting practice groups and book clubs, mental health event, research and application, create content, and scaling and having more impact.
Juan, would you be interested to mention that the training is free?
I think I mentioned it once here.
That we offered it. Okay.
Okay. This is the team description. Me, Durgadas, Bianca, Anna, Septimus, Didan, Lynn, Jeremy, Morgan, Aloysius, Acid Laser, Benz, Innovator. Are we missing someone? Okay, and these are some relevant links. For example, here's the repository of the Token Engineering Commons, and here we have the Gravity registry. That it's the same thing of the ZenHub. It's just it's displayed differently. Here we see like 21 cases closed, 2 in observation, and this needs to be moved. And here in GitHub, you see them like 7 cases open and 21 cases closed. 21 closed. So it's the same. Just a link to our GitHub. Hello, Vaida. Welcome to this call. We're just reviewing this application form that we will be submitting in the course of the day.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for patience.
Great to have you here. This is a page that we're designing. It's still in design. It's we're working on this, so it's not displayed right now. The Discord takes us to the Token Engineering Commons, to this exact server where we are right now, and the images are this one and this one. So we agree with this information. We are only missing this step. Bianca, Anna, do you feel good with this application form?
Yes.
Yes.
It
Well,
looks good. Thanks for doing it.
yeah, and hopefully we can raise some funds from this to continue being sustainable. I had other small topic in the agenda, but I don't know, Bianca, if you have some topics in the agenda that you would like to cover, and then we can continue moving.
Yeah. I can share my screen also. I have the survey that I want to talk about. We got our goal number for the survey, and I'm super happy about it because I thought we weren't gonna get it. We were going for reach 50 done surveys. So we got 53 completed so far and 56 partial. So I'm super happy about this number, but it's always better to get more, so let's keep sharing it. This is the link for the survey. If you are interested on how to how does mental health and work connect, and how are people working in a DAO if they suffer from the same problem as people that doesn't work in a DAO. So please fill up this survey if you work in a DAO. It's gonna help us a lot to have this information. And if you know people that work for DAOs, also share this with them. It's gonna help us, like, more numbers, more data we have, it's better for analyzing it after. So now we are almost 2 months that the survey is on. So I was afraid that we are not gonna reach the number, but we did it, so I'm super, super happy about it. And tomorrow we have our Twitter space. Also about mental health. We are doing this not the Twitter space, but we are doing the event every month. And tomorrow we are gonna do it on Twitter. We're gonna talk about suicide prevention awareness because this is the topic for this month. This is the September Yellow. If you don't know what it means, this is the suicide prevention awareness, and that's why we thought we needed to talk about this specifically for this month. And we do it every last Thursday of the month. And it's going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST time, 9 p.m. CET. We have it on our Gravity DAO page. It's pinned there, so it's easier to find. You can set up the reminder for you. And we're gonna have 3 special guests. One is a psychologist. He works for trauma and crisis prevention, and he's awesome. I love his work to death. The other 2 guests work with us in Gravity. One is Dedan. He talks a lot about nonviolent communication, and he's gonna bring his expertise on it. And we're gonna have Irene too, being a speaker. She works with trauma therapy, so it's gonna be very special to have them there. I think it's gonna be a super interesting conversation that we are planning. Angie and I, we got some cool questions for them, so don't miss this Twitter space. It's also pinned here. If you have access to the link of our notes, I'm gonna also share this in our chat so you can find it easier. And it's on our Twitter. So yeah, these were the topics that I wanna share today, and I go back to you, Juan. Thank you.
I just thank you very much for sharing one thing about your research, about your survey. Then if you need any help with the analysis, I would be very happy to help out because basically that's my expertise to do any kind of user research or like research with people and analyze a bunch of data and make sense of it. Then if you need a hand,
That's
let me know.
awesome. Yeah, of course. We're gonna start the analysis of the data in the next proposal of Gravity, that we are working on it. So once we have that done, I will reach to you for sure. Anna and I, we are leading that project. For the last 6 months, we were working on it and building the survey and gathering the information. We are doing that project together with the university that I go to in Brazil. So we have kind of like the background of the science as well. And so we have this approach of also publishing it in like a scientific way and for Web3. And yeah, I will send you a message. Thank you for being interested in it. That's really cool. I appreciate it.
Also, something that I think that it's really cool about this kind of surveys is to have like a frequency so that you can have like a progression over time of on data, and that would be really cool to see like if people get less stressed um, through the development of DAOs, or if people like continue having the same level of stress through the years in this fast moving space.
Yeah. Working with the university is cool because we are gonna make this an actual tool to be replicable. Um, so it's like officially created. I don't know like how to express that right. But yeah, that's like the idea of it. I pass to you, Juan. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just finishing to write a praise, and I will open another topic that I had for today. Okay. Well, another point that I wanted to touch with you is that I submitted an application to have a workshop at the Daoist that will happen in Bogota before DevCon. And today I received a reply to have that I was accepted to give this workshop. So it's a good news because it's a place where we will have people from multiple communities. I will try to make a role play and to make like a good representation of this group, and also try to look for possible new clients and new communities wanting to implement our work, our tooling, our services. Um, this is something that we were talking about yesterday, Bianca and I, around outreach, and that it's really important for this project to have like a lot of outreach, because we are not only like working with ourselves, we are very like working towards the space. Because of that, we are still, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm also going to be at a DAOist, so would love to meet you there.
Great, that's amazing. Yeah, today I received that acceptance like communication, and I will try to make it really fun because we have a role play where the world is ending and like everyone has a unique like handicap, a unique skill, and it's a very fun role play. I think we will be doing that one, and everyone like is given a role. For example, you are mute, so you cannot talk during the activity, or for example, you when you speak, you tend to yell. So maybe there's someone trying to say something important, but they are always yelling, and there's like a lot of chaos. But the activity is really cool, and I think can be like really fun to do in that workshop. Okay. Besides that, I am going to share a little bit of this second proposal that we are still not 100% sure if we are going to request of how much of the funds are we going to request to the TC, but something that we are sure is that we will request funds both to the TC for some things, a small part, and like mostly for running operations, and to make a proposal with the proposal inverter, that it's a tool for projects to be multi-funded by multiple DAOs. So we are working on this document, and we have to show this to the proposal inverter guys. I see that Bianca made a lot of work. I don't know, Bianca, if you want to present a little bit what is the intention of this proposal.
Yeah, sure. So we were thinking about like how are we gonna present? So the first proposal that we had, the idea is like show what did we do in our first operation. So we are talking about what did we do with the funds and the money that we got. So it's like what are the people involved and the activities we had. So I was describing there the roles, the activities, and kind of like the history line of what was done.
Nice. And here there's all the activities that we've been doing, like practice groups, book clubs, presentations of Gravity in conferences, and online community events. It would be really cool, Justina and Rather Mercurial, to continue this conversation. We would be really pleased to make a talk to your community, to some of your friends, to some of your colleagues. That's how we continue networking. We also have 3 active Gravitons made. We're working on a psychology research. We had 3 Graviton trainings. Graviton training. Session first. We are working on the website MVP. This is a work that we have a call in 2 hours. Right now in 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's the Gravity website call, and Durgadas is the one that leads that call, because you know that we had that other page that was in construction. This is like the back end and the narrative behind the page. So we are like, this is who is going to be the people interacting, and these are some of the things that we will be including in the page. So we are like working on services, the pricing structure, how to make everything visible, and he's like making some tech choices of some plugins that are needed for what we want in the page. And here's like a phase of how we want to scale Gravity. I think that right now we are in phase 2. Phase 1 was the initial proposal, like bootstrapping and the Graviton training 1 and 2, but we just ended the Graviton training 3, and we are continue building and expanding to get to phase 3, where we will become a self-running service DAO. We are also thinking of launching our own token and having multiple services and products that we can make use in the Web3 space. So we, in 2 hours, 1 hour and 20 minutes, we will be in this call. You're invited to join, but it's mostly also like a hacking session, where mostly Durgadas is the one that like helps us and hosts and guides this call, but we are always like giving feedback and ideas, and that's really interesting. Besides that, in this second proposal, we also have like accountability of all the transaction and the management of funds. We use D-Work to manage our funds, and it's all in the blockchain, but we also have this documentation, transparency, gravity, how is that called? Gravity. Spend. How was it? Financial. Okay. We have a document where everything is like tracked. So that needs to be added here. We are also building our community. We have mediated cases. We participated in the Commons Prize. We have had Twitter Spaces. The last Twitter Space that we had was super interesting, and if you want to check it, it's pinned in. Oh, now it's this one is pinned, but okay, I will try to send it here. This one is amazing. I liked it a lot because it's around the expectations that we have in the working environment of Web3, and how it's different from the traditional space, how we don't have like securities, stability, we are very free. When you sign a contract in a traditional organization, you have like security for how many months you're gonna be working. But in this DAO space, like as everything is through proposals, when you don't receive support on an X proposal, there's nothing to be done. You have no one to complain with, and how some of that expectations matter when we are entering into this space, and how we have to change our mindset. That's really, really cool. And here the pinned tweet is that tomorrow we'll have the suicide prevention. We also have 2 external ways of funding right now that are Gitcoin and Giveth, but we are also participating in grants. Like the CLR fund. We also, the other community that have funded us for our services is Aragon, and we have had a lot of learnings from them, because somehow we were born in the TC and it was easy to provide the service to the TC, but with Aragon we had that first difficulty of providing a service to an external organization, and from that we had a lot of learnings. I will have to go deep a little bit and say some of the learnings that we had. I made a document, so I am going to pin it here, to tag it here. I also say look here that should our community lead reach out to you by DM, or would you like an invite? Any of them would be cool, rather Mercurial. I can reply by DM, or also I can join the server. I am very much available. We had 20 D-Work contributors. Right now, the whole of the history of our funds, it's 60K, from which we still have around 10K after this month. So this would be meaning that we spend around 5K per month. So we will have 2 months more of funding until we receive support for the next proposal. We are still writing on some of the bottlenecks, difficulties, and challenges that we find in Gravity. And here is the details of the new proposal. This is work done by a contributor named or called Innovator, and makes a lot of sense of how are we going to start working like starting from October. And the idea is that we will have 5 clear groups. The 5 clear groups are the outreach team, the coordination team, the case management team, the treasury management team, and the operations team. The idea would be that all of our contributors can contribute to any of these teams by having bounties for their contribution, but at the same time that there will be a person that would lead or that role, that would lead that team. From the initial conversation that we've been having, we have already some ideas of the people that will be taking these roles, but we want to also make some inclusive process in this. But yeah, we have like an initial idea, but we are still working on how are we going to really give shape to this team. And here is the description of all of the roles that the lead of each team should have. For example, the outreach lead should look for possible new clients, raise awareness of conflict management services, lead outreach and negotiation, marketing strategies. Yesterday with Bianca, we had a really cool session talking about this. So all this is super interesting, and we have a description of all of these roles here, and also a job or a role description of the active graviton, that it's the person that participates in trust creation activities or dispute management and mediation activities. We are still uncertain of how much money will we require, because 4 months will be 31K, and 3 months we can make it for around 25K more or less. So this is something that also depends a lot on the conviction voting app. I don't know if you are familiar with the conviction voting app. That it's this is how you request funds to the TEC. You make a proposal through the gardens, and then when people support your proposal, you receive the funds. So for example, here in this proposal, they're requesting 142 XDAI, that it's a really small amount, and it says that it's going to pass in 1 month. That's really insane, because this how this tool works is that the weight of the vote of people goes heavier over time. So if more people vote right now, this proposal will pass faster. But with the conviction that it has right now, it will pass in 1 month. And what happens here is that there's a lot of people that it's putting their tokens in the abstain proposal. And when they do that, what they are doing is that they are raising the minimum support needed to pass a proposal. So this is one of the bottlenecks that we are facing, and it's that the more funds that you request, the more support you need from the community. And I am afraid that if we place a really high proposal, we won't receive enough support. So that's why we're still thinking on numbers, on if we're going to aim for the 4 months or go for 3 months and request less money. And if also we can somehow like split our funding from the TC and the proposal inverter. Here we have some milestones that we want to have in this next proposal, like the 4th Graviton training, the analysis of the mental health survey, conflict resolution survey. We also have a conflict resolution survey that needs analysis. Content creation, be present in more platforms, present in different in-person events, swags. We also have a Graviton get-together, something that it's like a gathering of all the people that have participated in the trainings, but it's an idea we haven't done it. These are some of the bounties that we can reward in the different teams, like for example, platform management, bot development, Graviton to Graviton support, role plays, practice groups, book clubs, create content. And then we have this second proposal that it's the last proposal, and I think this is going to be 100% in the proposal inverter. And the idea of this proposal is to launch our own economy, to develop a token, a native token for Gravity. And for that we are aiming for around 21K to hire a Solidity dev that will help us to implement our own gardens like this one, but also will help us to design how the token will be attractive for possible investors. And we are thinking of a really cool design where we will start with a very high reserve and then lower it gradually in a planned time lapse. And that way we will be able to make it interesting for the people who participated in the first parts, in the first moments of the economy, and then grow a common pool through the lowering of the reserve. That way we won't have like a big common pool from the start, but instead of that, the common pool will raise over time. And here we have other things like a Discord wizard and UX designer that will help us with all this front end of the smart contracts, and an emergency budget. So for this is the second proposal, and we need to mark some milestones on this, maybe having a planned action to lower to gradually I don't know if you're very familiar with the reserve and the common pool, but once you get that, it's like really one of the basic things to understand how any crypto token works. I think these are like the past nodes. I think we can erase this, right, Bianca?
I don't know. That was Zapti's work.
Oh, okay. The thing is that this one has the template, so we can work with the information here, but either way, we will have to go with this template. That is the template that the DC has. Like, this is the template.
I would talk to Zapti first because
Okay, okay. Well, we are in the top of the hour. I don't know if um, any of you want to say something. I'm sorry if I took like so much of the hour talking, but I hope you found it interesting. And yeah, any feedback, any comment, it's very very well appreciated.
And then, like, from my side, thank you very much for sharing everything. Like, it's very interesting. I really want to like just have a little bit of time to just go through it and just like read it myself. Then I was just wondering if you have one place where all of this information lives, or is just this document that you sent, and like what's the kind of best approach to find everything about it?
Well, we have this calendar that is the gravity calendar, and there we have like links to all these documents where we it's here's like the notes, and here this document started like in 2020,
Okay.
and this is how gravity like moved and from the beginning. And also we have this other repository um, made by Didan, where we have like all of the information and links of everything since the beginning. Like, here's everything. Like, we have a manifesto. We have like some forum posts. Here is everything. Like, the things we did in Aragon, a lot of Trellos. And here you can also link and go to the Graviton trainings. And if you missed any of the sessions of the Graviton trainings, you can, for example, go here to the season 3 of the Graviton training, and you can go and see some of the content that maybe you missed. For example, I think the Graviton training is still not fully finished. There's only 4 sessions here, but here in season 2 you have like the 10 sessions, and you can see all of the sessions, all of the content. And we want to try to build an asynchronous training so that people can also like not only assist it while we're doing it live, but also like pay it and have it like an online course.
Then yeah, I will check out all of these things, but I need to jump out. Then thank you very much, and see you soon. Then let's keep in communication, I think, and yeah, and have a nice day, everybody.
thank you. Thanks for coming.
See you later.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.